So question number 6 says that the diameter of a circular park is 26 meters. So let us write that given diameter D is equal to 26 meter. From diameter, if I want, we can find out the radius, right? 26 divided by 2, it is 13 meter, correct? Now there is a road of width 2 meters surrounding the park. So that is the width of the road. That is considered this one as x. That is x equal to 2 meter. Now they told us to determine the area of the road. That's easy. Let us say this is the park, and the park has a radius of 13 meter. Okay, diameter was given. From there we found out the radius. Okay, now there is a road surrounding it. Okay, so let us say this is the road, and the width of the road is 2 meter. Okay, so can anyone tell me what will be the radius of the outer side of the road? Outer circumference of the road. Can anyone tell me what will be the radius of that? This is 13.
R2. Oh no.
This is 13 and this is 2. So total from here till here, what will be the radius? Many of you are not being able to understand. So this part, this is same as 13, right? And this part, this is same as 2. What should be total?
15 meter.
15 meter. Good. So R2 should be equal to 13 plus 2 meter equal to 15 meter. Now they told us to find the area of the road. Area of the road should be equal to, if we found out the area using the outer radius, pi r2 square, then it will give me the area of the whole, the bigger circle, right? From there, if I subtract the area of the inner circle, that is pi r1 square, that means I will subtract this area. If I subtract the area of this area, then the only remaining part will be the road, correct or not? See?
Yes.
And only this road will be remaining. So that is why this one can be done by r2 square. R2 is how much? 15. So 15 square minus, I have taken pi common, okay? And R1 is 13. So 13 square. So it will be 225 minus 169, that is 56. So pi into 56, kindly do the calculation in the calculator and let me know the answer.
$175.92.
75.92. That will be, it is area, it will be in meter square. And remember, whenever the calculation of pi is involved, you have to write approx in the answer. Kindly check if the answer is okay, if it matches with the answer that is given in your textbook. So give me 1 minute. আসলে যে সার্কেল গুলো আসলে সুন্দর মতো ড্র করতে পারতাম যদি আমার এটা ওই লগ ইনের প্রবলেমটা না হতো। আমি আরেকবার একটু চেষ্টা করি লগ ইন করতে। Is there any doubt in this problem?
No.
Okay, so let us move to the next one. Question number 7 we will do a little bit later. Let us do question number 8 first. Okay, the circumference of a circle is 220 meter. And then determine the length of the side of the square inscribed in the circle. Now we have to understand what is the meaning of the square inscribed in the circle. Okay, so we need a square first. So let us draw a square. Then we need to draw a circle. The circle should look like Okay, so this should be our figure. As you can see, all the four vertex of the square lies on the circle. Then only we can say that the square is inscribed in the circle. If one of the vertex is not on the circle, let us say one vertex is here, inside or outside, then we cannot say that it is inscribed. Now, the circumference of the circle, um, we will consider some things like let the diameter of the circle, diameter of the circle, it be d. And what will be the circumference? Case of radius, it is 2 pi r, but if you are trying to find out the circumference using the diameter, it is pi d, as we discussed in the previous ones, right? Then
Yes.
another shape is involved here, which is square. We will consider the length of each side of the square, the length of each side of the square. Let us consider that to be a. Now, the unit that we will use is meter. Okay, remember, so d meter. So here also it will be a. Okay. Now, according to the question, what can we write? Take a look at it very carefully. If I draw the diagonal of the square, the diagonal, okay? Diagonal means the joining line of the corner point, opposite corner point of the square. This will be our diagonal of the square. Now, this diagonal, can I consider this one as the diameter of the circle for the circle C? One point of the circle passing through the center and being joined to the other point, other end of the circle, right? So this is also diameter of the circle, correct or not? So according to the
Yes.
question, we can write diagonal of the square is equal to the diameter of the circle. Now, what is the formula to calculate the diagonal of the square if the length of one side is A? Let us say each side is A. So what will be the length of diagonal? That is root 2A. This one we have studied in 16.2. 16.2 discusses quadrilateral, right? So root 2A equal to. Now, the diameter of the circle. Diameter of the circle, it is not given, but there is a way to find out how. See, the circumference is given 220 in the question. Circumference is 220. So this pi d, which is circumference, can be written equal to 220. Now from here, we can easily find out the diameter, which is 220 divided by pi. Okay. So here, diameter and the diameter of the circle can be replaced by 220 divided by pi. I'm trying to find out the value of a. This root 2, it is multiplied on left hand side. When I change the side, it will be divided. 220 divided by root 2 pi. From here, you can find out the length of one side of the square. Do it quickly, please.
49.51.
49.51. Check if the answer is correct. ওই থেকে একটু চেক করে দেখো তো এটা।
হ্যাঁ, কারেক্ট।
Okay. So কোথাও যদি না বোঝো আমাকে একটু বলো তোমরা। Else we will move to the next question. ওকে, তো প্রবলেম বাকি যে আর কয়টা আছে? আর 7 আর 9 বাকি শুধু, তো ওই দুইটা ডিসকাস করে ফেলি, তারপরে আমি তোমাদেরকে স্লাইড গুলা পাঠিয়ে দিব। দেন তোমরা এগুলা কপি করে নিতে পারবা। সো এখন আর লেখার টাইম দিচ্ছি না, ঠিক আছে, যেহেতু পরে দিয়ে দিব ইনশাআল্লাহ। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এখন 7 নাম্বারটা দেখো। 7 নাম্বারটা বুঝতে হলে আগে আমাদের কিছু জানতে হবে। এই যে মনে করো আমরা একটা হুইলের কথা চিন্তা করি, দিস প্রবলেম ইজ ইনভলভিং হুইল। মনে করো একটা হুইল, আমরা জানি হুইল কি করে, রোটেট করে, ঘুরে, তাই না? তো এই হুইল যখন রোটেট করে তখন কি করে দেখি বলো তো। what happens? Then it moves forward, right? While revolving, it moves forward. Now, while it is completing Ashraf Matra, while it is completing one complete rotation, okay, one complete revolution, it will move forward by what distance? It will move forward a distance which is equal to its circumference. Okay, equal to its circumference. If the circumference is small, then to complete one revolution, it will cover a very small distance. But now let us say there is a bigger wheel. Okay, if you have a bigger wheel, so what will happen? Now, if I let it rotate or revolve or roll on the road, what will happen? It will cover some distance. Now, let us say I'm observing and I notice that it is completing one rotation. In this one rotation, how much distance it will go? Definitely, it will cover a greater distance than the previous one, right? আগেরটা যেহেতু
Yes.
ছোট সার্কামফারেন্স এটা ছোট ডিস্টেন্স যাবে, পরেরটা যেহেতু বড় এটা গ্রেটার ডিস্টেন্স কভার করবে। ওকে, তো তাইলে এখান থেকে একটা জিনিস আমাদেরকে মনে রাখতে হবে that while it is completing one rotation, it covers a distance that is equal to its circumference. Remember, this information is very important. When a wheel completes one revolution, it covers a distance equal to its circumference. Okay, now let's see. Let us go through the question. The diameter of the front wheel of a car is 28 centimeters. Okay, let us say this is the front wheel and the back wheel is 35 centimeters. So the back wheel will be a little bit bigger. The size of the wheels are not equal. So for your convenience, I will complete the figure and draw a vehicle or a car. It's not mandatory though, but if you want, you can do it. So front wheel, back wheel. The radius of this one is 28 centimeters, and the radius of, oh, sorry, not radius, I think the diameter. Oh, okay. So if it is diameter, then we can show it in this way, like whole. And here the diameter is 35 centimeter. Now to cover a distance of 88 meter, how much? 88 meter. See, the diameters are given in centimeters, right? But the distance is given in meter. So this meter has to be converted into centimeters. So let us do that first. 88 meter should be equal to 88 into 100 centimeters. So it will be 8800 centimeters. 8800 centimeter. Now, circumference of the first wheel. Circumference of the front wheel of front wheel. How much will it be? We know the formula of circumference to be pi into d, pi into diameter. So front wheel, what is the diameter? 28. So it will be 28 pi, correct? D is 28 and pi will be there. So 28 pi centimeter. Now circumference of the back wheel will be 35 pi centimeters. Correct or not? Now
Yes.
I will write a sentence and you will let me know if you agree with me in this. To cover, oh, for front wheel. I will be doing the calculation for the front wheel and you will do the calculation for the back wheel. Now, why I'm doing this calculation? Because they asked us how many integer number of times more the front wheel will revolve than the back one. So we need to find out how many times both the wheels will revolve to cover a distance of 88 meter. So for front wheel, to cover how much? 28 pi. It revolves one time. Now to cover one, it should be actually centimeter. I should have written centimeter here so you don't forget to write it. It revolves 1 divided by 28 pi times. Now how much distance we need to cover? 8,800 centimeter. To cover 8,800 centimeter, it revolves. So 8,800 divided by 28 pi 9. Okay, can you do the calculation?
100.
100. That means it will revolve 100 times, correct? Now your duty is to carry out the same calculation for the back wheel. You will write for back wheel, okay? And then you will write to cover, instead of 28 pi for the back wheel, what you will write? 35 pi. To cover 35 pi distance, it will revolve one time. And then for this, how much will it revolve? Okay. So as the class is being recorded, I will give you the recording later, inshallah, if you need it. So I will just tell you the answer. Okay. For the back wheel, if you repeat the same calculation, the answer will come 80 times. Okay. Now we know that to cover a certain amount of distance, the front wheel will have to revolve more times because it is a small, right? একটা সার্টেন ডিস্টেন্স কভার করতে এটাকে অনেক বেশি বার ঘুরতে হবে, পিছনেরটা একটু কম ঘুরতে হবে, বিকজ ও একবার ঘুরলে অনেক ডিস্টেন্স কভার করে ফেলে। তাহলে এখন আমাদেরকে জিজ্ঞেস করছে যে মানে হাউ মেনি ইন্টিজার নাম্বারস অফ টাইমস মোর দ্য ফ্রন্ট হুইল উইল রিভলভ দ্যান দ্য ব্যাক ওয়ান। সামনেরটা তো বেশি ঘুরবে, আমরা এটা এগ্রি করছি, বাট কয়বার বেশি ঘুরবে? তো দেখা যাচ্ছে সামনেটা ঘুরে 100 বার, পিছনেটা ঘুরে 80 বার। তাহলে দেখি তোমরা আমাকে বলো সামনেটা কয়বার বেশি ঘুরছে?
20 times.
20 টাইম। তো সেটা কিভাবে বের করবো আমরা? 100 মাইনাস
Minus
80
7.
ইকুয়াল টু 20 টাইমস মোর। বাকি লেখাগুলো আশা করি তোমরা লিখে নিতে পারবা। যদি কোনো সমস্যা হয় তাহলে আমাকে বলিও, ঠিক আছে? সো দিস উইল বি দ্য আনসার। Now question number 9. This is the last problem of this exercise. Inshallah, with this we'll draw an end to this chapter. Not this chapter, this exercise. But you have to solve the examples at home, okay? And if you come across any doubt, then you have to let me know. I will take one doubt solving class on 16.3. After that, I will move on to 16.4. Now, the circumference of circle is equal to the perimeter of an equilateral triangle. You know that in case of mensuration, you have to draw the shape that are mentioned in the question. So, circle is mentioned, and then one triangle is mentioned. So, we have drawn both the shape. Now, they are saying the circumference of the circle is equal to the perimeter. What will be the circumference? The radius is r, the circumference will be 2 pi r. So let us write it. Let the radius of circle equal to r. As there is no unit mentioned in the question, no meter, centimeter, nothing is mentioned in the question, we will just write unit. Means একটা ইউনিট হবে এখানে, সেই ইউনিটের যে কোনো কিছু হতে পারে, মিটার, সেন্টিমিটার, যেটাই। ওকে, সো রেডিয়াস যেহেতু আমরা ধরে নিছি, দেখি এখন আমাকে আচ্ছা আরো একটা জিনিস ধরে নিতে হবে, সেটা হচ্ছে দেখো এখানে বলছে কি circumference is equal to the perimeter of the equilateral triangle. তো perimeter কিভাবে বের করব? To know the perimeter, we must identify the length of each side of the equilateral triangle. Let us say the length of each side is a. Let us name the triangle ABC. Then we have to mention the length of each side of equilateral triangle ABC is equal to A. Now, according to the question, what we will be able to write? According to the question, the circumference of the circle. Let us write circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. It is equal, they said it is equal to the perimeter of the equilateral triangle. What is the perimeter of equilateral triangle? If one side is A, all other sides will also be A, right? And perimeter is nothing but the summation of all the three sides. So A plus A will give us actually 3A. So from here, R equal to, we can write this 3 into A, 3A, 2 pi is multiply. If I change the side, it will be divided by 2 pi. Okay, consider this one as equation 1. Now we will move on and continue our rest of the calculation. For that, we need to read what they told us to calculate. They told us to determine the ratio of their areas. Okay, so how to do it? Ratio of areas. Yes. Now the area of circle, what is the formula to calculate the area of the circle? It is pi r square, and then ratio, the area of equilateral triangle. The area of equilateral triangle is root 3 divided by 4 a square. Okay, all of these formulas you already know, so I'm not explaining this again. Now this can be written in this form, right? Pi r square divided by root 3 by 4 a square. We can write it in this way. If I use this color, anyone is facing any problem?
No.
All the colors are clearly visible, right? If you face any
Yes.
difficulty, then kindly let me know. এই লাইনটা আরেকটু নিচে ড্র করি বিকজ এখানে আমরা একটু কিছু ভ্যালু বসাবো। এখানে ড্র করি। Now pi will remain as it is. R will be replaced. Question 1 says that R can be replaced by 3a divided by 2 pi. So R এর বদলে কি লিখবো আমরা এখানে 3a divided by 2 pi. But there is a square above R, so we will also put whole square on it. Okay, so R has been replaced by 3a by 2 pi, and there is whole square, so I have put whole square. Now root 3 divided by 4 a square equal to, the denominator will remain as it is. The numerator, you see, if I lift up the bracket, 3 square, it will become 9. A square will be a square, 2 square will be 4, and pi square will be pi square. Okay. Acha, this pi square, if I want, can I write it in this way? Pi into pi. You know that there will be pi square, so it can be written as pi into pi. Now the question arises, why shall I write it in this way? Why shall I write it in this way? So that it becomes easier for us to understand the cancellation. See, pi will cancel 1 pi from here, and then 4 will cancel 4, and a square will cancel a square. Correct? Now our expression will be much simplified. As you can see, in the numerator, only 9 by pi will be there. 9 by pi. 9 টা কিরকম জানি হয়ে গেল না? 9 by pi, and in the denominator, only root 3 will be there. Correct? So now 9 by pi, this division, I make it into, then root 3 will be reciprocal. Root 3 can be thought of as root 3 divided by 1. So if I make it reciprocal, it will be 1 divided by root 3. Okay. So if you write in the calculator 9 divided by root 3, it will show you 3 root 3 and divided by pi. The final answer will be 3 root 3 ratio pi. Our final answer, because this cannot be simplified any further. Now you might be thinking how it became 9 divided by 3, how it is 3 root 3. I will explain it here, okay? This explanation is not a part of the answer. You don't have to write it in the answer script, but for your understanding, I'm explaining here. So please take a look carefully. 9, it can be written as 3 square. Now if I want to put a root over 3, if I want to put a square root over 3, then the power has to become double. This we already discussed in algebraic expressions. Okay. Now, so 9 here we have 9, right? So 9 is actually root 3 whole to the power 4, and then divided by root 3 is there, divided by root 3. So 1 root 3 cancels 1 root 3. So out of 4, 1 root 3 gets cancelled. So it will be root 3 cube. Correct or not? So root 3 cube is actually root 3 into root 3 into root 3. Now 2 root 3 makes 1 3. So 1 root 3 will be left. So that's how we get 3 root 3. Okay, this is also something we discussed in algebraic expression. If you remember, √5 কিউব যদি থাকে আমরা ওখানে কি লিখছিলাম? 5√5। √x² যদি থাকে আমরা ওখানে লিখতাম x√x। কারেক্ট? এরকম। তো এই যে এখন আমি যেটা বক্স করে দিব, এই বক্সের ভিতরের পার্টটা, এটা তোমাদের আনসার স্ক্রিপ্টে লিখতে হবে না, এটা তোমাদের বোঝার জন্য লিখছি আমি। এটা এন্ড এটা, বাকি পুরোটাই হচ্ছে তোমার আনসার এর পার্ট। এই পিঙ্ক বক্সের মধ্যে, মানে পিঙ্ক শেপটার মধ্যে যা যা আছে এগুলো ছাড়া বাকি সবগুলো তোমাদের আনসারে লিখতে হবে। তো বলো, যদি কারো ডাউট থাকে এখনই বলো। ওকে, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, আই থিংক এভরিওয়ান আন্ডারস্টুড। এই চ্যাপ্টারের পরে 10 নাম্বার একটা কোশ্চেন আছে। এই 10 নাম্বার কোশ্চেনটা আসলে তোমাদেরকে জাস্ট মজা করার জন্য দিতে, তোমরা চাইলে এটার এরিয়া গুলো যেগুলো বলছে সেগুলো বের করে দেখতে পারো। ওকে, একটু ব্রেন খাটো, মাথার মানে ব্রেনের নিউরন গুলো একটু অ্যাক্টিভ হবে। তো ওগুলো নিয়ে থিঙ্ক করো, ওগুলো এক্সামের জন্য করা লাগবে না, বাট পাশে এমনি তোমরা ট্রাই করতে পারো। আমি সাজেস্ট করবো যে তোমরা ট্রাই করো। ওকে, আর যদি কোনোটা দেখা যাচ্ছে ট্রাই করছো বাট পারো নাই, তাহলে সেটা আমাকে বলে ইনশাল্লাহ আই উইল হেল্প ইউ।
ওকে স্যার।
তাইলে আজকে এতটুকু পর্যন্তই, ভালো থাকো। ইনশাল্লাহ নেক্সট ক্লাস আমরা 16.4 স্টার্ট করবো।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম রহমতুল্লাহ।